CAVEMAN Chang here, and welcome to my channel. This is the skill building video series where we pick a specific skill and we practice it so that when you encounter a problem that actually needs this skill, we can solve it with ease. Let's begin. So for today's video, we're going to be focusing on solving one variable in terms of another variable. This usually is used in situations where you have an equation that has multiple variables in it and you only want to worry about one specific variable. That one variable equals whatever else. Now, in order to figure this out, the first thing you have to do is figure out which variable are you solving for. That's where you pay special attention to the problem. The problem itself will tell you exactly which variable it wants to focus on, which other one you just want to sort of manipulate so that it ends up being the results. Now, the second thing is to treat all the other variables that's in the equation as if they were numbers. If it was a number, you would normally add them, then add them. If it's a number, you normally would subtract them, subtract them. Multiply, divide, distribute, same thing. Just treat it like you would treat a normal number. Now, here's the thing that we have to be careful of. When we're reading the problem, there's usually two formats that it will be in. Solve for will let you know which variable you're actually working on. That variable is going to be whatever variable equals blank, right? Solve in terms of, that's a different story. In terms of is not the variable you're actually solving for. In terms of is the variable on the other side. So hopefully through this practice, we'll be able to see the difference between solve for and solve in terms of. Now, for this first problem, we have 1 equals b minus x. The problem itself is saying to solve for x. So in the end, when we're solving for x, we want x by itself, everything else on the other side. Now, since we have x right here, and it's a minus x, I'm just going to do some sort of like manipulation. You guys can see what I mean. I'm going to add x on both sides. This goes away. Now I have 1 plus x equals b. Right? This is just a way for me to change the sort of the negative sign into positive. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to get rid of the 1. Remember, we're solving for x, so we want x by itself. We're going to subtract 1 right here, and we're going to subtract 1 right here. This goes away. Now we have x equals b minus 1. So notice you have x on one side equal and everything else on the other. This would be your answer. Now, before we finish this problem, I want to show you guys something. This is solve for x. What if I say solve in terms of b? Terms of b. Okay, so solve in terms of b is actually the same thing. The answer will still be the same because this is in terms of b. It doesn't matter the other variable, but we're solving in terms of b. There it is. But if I change this up and now I say x, this answer would be incorrect, right? Solve in terms of x would mean that I would have to isolate b equals and whatever the result would have x in it. That's why it's in terms of x. Okay, so you have to be very careful of what it's saying. Solve for x, x is by itself. Solve in terms of x, then x is not by itself. Whatever the other variable is, that's the one that's going to be by itself. So for this next problem, we have ax plus 6 equals b. Now, here we have solve for a. Man, if it was solve for b, we will be done. Everything will be great. But since we're trying to solve for a, we need to isolate it so that it's going to be a by itself equals something else. So our a is right here. So we have to get rid of everything else. Now, well, first and foremost, we have a 6. Let's just get rid of the 6. This is a plus 6, so we're going to do the opposite. Minus 6 minus 6. So we have ax equals b minus 6. The reason is because this cancels out. Okay, there we go. Ax equals b minus 6. Well, once again, we want a by itself. X is right here. We don't want that. So what we're going to do, since ax is just a times x, we're going to do the opposite. You're going to divide by x, and this whole thing divide by x. So this is a common mistake. Make sure when you divide by here, this whole thing is divided by x. It's not just b divided by x. It's not just 6 divided by x. It's the whole thing. So this goes away. Now you have a equals b minus 6 over x. And this is your answer. So for this problem, we have y times parentheses x plus 4 equals 9. Notice this, however. solve in terms of y. So we're not trying to find y by itself. We're trying to find the other variable by itself, and the result, the answer, must have y in it. So the other variable in this case is x. So this is the one we actually want to solve for right here. And then the y is just going to be in the result. So we got to be very careful. Remember, pay special attention to the wording of the problem. So, well, in that case, we want x by itself. Everything else we want on the other side. Well, first and foremost, we have y here. Let's just get rid of that. It's a multiplication, so we're just going to divide by y, and we're going to divide by y here. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. The y goes away. You now have x plus 4 equals 9 over y. Now, x by itself. It's not by itself yet, so we just have to get rid of this guy. We just subtract 4 right here. This goes away. Now we have x equals 9 over y minus 4. Now this is the answer. You can manipulate it however you want. If you want to make sure they share the common denominator, that's fine. But in the end, this is the answer. So for the remainder of the video, I'm going to try to solve these problems without explanation. Hopefully you guys can follow along or try to solve it yourself. Thank you for watching this video of solving variables in terms of another variable. See you in the next one.